Mage and Olympian troops stood apprehensively side by side on the battlefield. The sounds of bronze clinking and gentle arcane whirring grew more faint as dark, threatening clouds lurked closer to the field. The servants of the Nexus marched ominously, willing the cloak of darkness forward with every step. As the armies grew closer together, the generals among the corrupted forces began opening thousands of portals along the battle lines. Hordes of corrupted beings swelled their ranks, led by Lycaon and Necromancer. The hearts of the allies sank as the terror seeped deep into their souls. Then, as though someone could sense their desperation, fingers of sunlight began to pry open the shadowy canopy that brooded over the battlefield. Beams of light shone into the ranks of the allies, who stepped aside as mighty solar beings began to materialize in the spotlights. Infernal colossi breathed in the holy power of the sun as their bodies ignited, the troops' morale rising as they stood by their new mythic brethren. With new vigor, the allies charged into battle while the servants of the Nexus continued to pour out of the corrupted portals. As the battle was joined, Necromancer could be seen holding the divine geode, channeling its energy into a larger and more sinister portal.
The time has come, Master. May your corruption embrace this land and feed upon the souls of those who stand in our way.
Necromancer screamed as the portal's energy grew more chaotic. With the allies locked in desperate combat, it seemed no one could stop what had been put in motion. All hope was lost, it seemed, until the sun itself offered a furious reply, swelling to twice its size and glowing hotter than a supernova. Tendrils of solar fire stretched out to the surface of the battlefield, worming and twisting together. These bands of sunfire weaved together, forming the outline of a being clad in bronze, and disintegrated the corrupted beings that dared to look upon him. Hyperion held up his hand to claim a fiery arrow pulled from the heart of the sun, notched it in his bow, and sent it piercing through the portal. In a flash, the portal extinguished, and Necromancer was sent flailing backwards.
Darkness is but the absence of light.
Hyperion boomed.
Come, my children, I shall be your light, one which the servants of darkness may never hope to extinguish.
How's it going, guys? It's Darth Shigon, gaming on the dark side, GOTDS, and you know we got this over here for you. We got ourselves a brand new event from Dawn of Titans this weekend, a Meta Titan, well, meta part of the Epsilon meta, I should say. I'm not too sure if he's like that meta. You know, this is for the Hyperion event. This guy, so far at least, man, if you guys watched the earlier video today on Chance's channel, Chance and House's stream, I highly recommend you guys subscribe to that channel and watch it. They got some cool stuff and definitely makes you laugh while you're listening to them. Yeah, man, we saw this dude get just demolished. There's something obviously not exactly right with him, but I mean, who knows? Maybe this guy was specifically meant to be countered by Lycaon, because Lycaon seems to be just, this guy's like Lycaon's chew toy. If you got a P7 Lycaon, man, you don't have to worry about this dude at all, unless they do something about those Infernal Grenadiers melee damage. We'll talk about all that in a little bit. Let's get into this event a bit and kind of see how long we got, what we got going on, and how much it's going to take to grind it out. Alright, so this event starts officially tomorrow, or today, depending on when you're watching this, August 12th, Thursday. It's going to go all the way through Monday, August 16th, which, like pretty much every weekend event, gives us 90 hours to grind it out, if you are so inclined to grind the thing, or to at least level him up once you've got him. If you get him early and you just want to use him to get him up as high as possible, you got to get him to at least level 40 to get that pomegranate relic from the Pantheon. Now, we're going to jump right in and check out his skills. This dude's got, well, a lot to read here. So his first skill, Invoke, Solar Flare. So it is an Invoke skill. It's 180% Titan and Troop health, 60% base Titan and Grenadier damage. And Hyperions and Infernal Colossi ranged attacks have a 50% chance to cast Fireball and will subtract 3% enemy range resist a max of 20 times. So, max of 60% off. I think that's probably just per unit. Once you hit 20, it's done. Now, the second skill is going to be what's called Plasma Discharge. You're going to need 44% Titan critical, 250% Titan and troop fire damage, 2 times in defense. That's 500% damage when you're using them on defense. 250% Titan and troop armor, 2 times in defense. That's 500%. We need way more armor, guys. Let's see here. Invoke Infernal Colossi. Let's see. It's going to be 200% Titan troop health, 35% Titan and troop melee resist. Why isn't that 2 times in defense? I do not know. Let's see here. At the start and every 15 seconds, summon an Infernal Colossus, a max of 5. Each Colossus lives for 20 seconds. So that means at the very beginning and every 15 seconds, you're going to, and basically it's going to be a huge Hyperion clone, it looks like. It's going to pop on out there on the field, helping you out. Now, they will only live for 20 seconds, so if you're attacking this dude, you can just wait for those guys to die. You don't really have to attack them. They will drop after 20 seconds, unless they got the Synergy Relic, which brings it up, or not the Synergy Relic, they're prestige high enough. Then they last a lot longer. Let's see here. Solar Storm, 44% Grenadier critical, 30% Titan and Troop range resist, 2 times in defense. See, that should be switched, man, because the guy that's going to be attacking you like Heian is going to be dropping units right on top of your units. They're going to be in melee more than ranged. It should be 2 times ranged on defense. I'm a melee, not ranged. That's a waste. Let's see here. 200% Titan Troop armor piercing, 2 times in defense. That's 400% armor piercing. That helps, but we're just still not causing enough damage. He needs to be doing a lot more. Let's see here. Stellar Halo. The next invoke skill for the 5th skill is going to be 40% Titan and Troop all elemental resist, 5 fireball spells, 400% all fire spell damage. That'll be your fireball and your meteor spells. And on Infernal Colossus call, shield 5 allies, a max of 5 times. So that's pretty okay. I mean, that helps, shield some dudes. But like I said, most of your units are going to be tied up in ranged combat. Melee combat. Because the person that's going to be attacking you is going to be a Lycaon. That just seems to have this dude's number, and that ties up your troops. So once again, we need more melee resist, and we definitely need to be causing a lot more melee damage to be able to offset that. Okay, now talking about his brand new units. This guy is going to be calling up what's called Infernals. Now you have 2 types. You have Infernal Grenadiers and Infernal Colossi. Hyperion, the primordial embodiment of the sun, summons Infernal Colossi and Infernal Grenadiers with explosive effects that set their enemies ablaze. The Grenadier units is a pretty big unit. It's got, pretty low health, actually. They got 200% armor, 200% armor piercing, 25% critical chance, and 50% all elemental resist as their base stats. And their damage is about 222,000 damage points, right? So they hit hard. They're like glass cannons. But from what I've seen so far, guys, these dudes, they get demolished because they have ranged damage buffing rather than melee, right? They should be a Grenadier melee unit, but they're not doing melee damage. And I think that might be a bug, and one of the reasons why Hyperion's getting his butt kicked so hard. This guy needs to be doing melee damage with these. So if they fix that, that will change the calculus on this Titan. Now you have the Infernal Colossi, right? That's unit size is 1 Colossus per cast. You're gonna get 5 of these guys. They do double the regular ranger damage. They have a pretty good chunk of health. They have 400% base armor, 250% armor piercing, 50% critical, and 50% all elemental resist. So they have more armor, but still, it's not enough. It's just nowhere near enough armor, guys. We need way more armor to make these dudes last longer. If this is going to be, between these 2 units being your meat shields in a sense, especially those melee units, man. Like I said, yeah, that's what's messing this up. Those units just are not doing it. We need to make them fix, guys. Devs, fix that, please. Okay, moving on to the prestige skills here. Supernova. Now, at level 10, you're going to have 100% base Titan, Grenadier damage, and health. Once again, Grenadier damage and health, guys, doesn't really matter when they're tied up in melee combat. We need something to stop that. Now, unlocked from Prestige level 1, at the battle start, you'll call 4 Infernal Grenadiers and 2 more every 15 seconds, a max of 4 times. Or a max of 4 units, I guess. 4 more, so I guess 8 Infernal Grenadiers. Now, those are supposed to be melee units, but they're not right now, so it's bugged out. We need to fix that, and that will change how good this guy is, or we'll find out, I guess. Now, unlocked from Prestige level 4, when one of your Infernal Colossi die, you're going to have negative 10% enemy fire and melee resist, a max of 5 times. So once they're all dropped, the enemies are going to have 50% less fire and melee resist, which helps. Now, unlocked from Prestige level 7, when an Infernal Colossus dies, it's going to be 100% army fire damage and armor, a max of 5 times. So you need all of them to die in order to get your max armor. Okay. Now, so that's why you're hoping those dang Infernal Grenadiers are living, right? Unlocked from Prestige level 10, if you go all the way with this one, on defense, Colossi now survive for 45 seconds, and Hyperion is shielded until all Colossi are dead. Now, when it says shielded, I wasn't able to watch the video to see for sure. I'm not too sure if that means he's completely invulnerable, or if he has got a shield spell until all the Colossi. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if he's got a shield spell. I guess it does make him invulnerable. So that's kind of interesting. But once again, remember, you just got to wait for them to die. So if you just wait 45 seconds, let's see, they come over 20. It's going to be quite a bit into the fight before you're able to kill Hyperion. With him, just fear spell him or do something to keep him busy because he does hit pretty hard. Now, he does have 50% more base health than regular Ranger Titan, so the dude is pretty tanky. And that's probably to mitigate the fact that anyone that is fighting against him will try to keep him tied up in melee combat. Because if you let him fire off some shots, he's going to be hammering your army. So don't let that happen. Now, we've got some pretty interesting relics up in here. Let's talk about the old ones first. You got your Draco Ignis, Unak Idol, and Infernal Guard. Now, Infernal Guard is the one that has a synergy with Ares, which makes the Spartan battalions a little bit bigger, about 140% larger. Now, they did do a stealth update on his Prestige level 10. If you do have an Ares at level 10, you should be happy because now rather than only summoning 2 Spartans per invoke, now you'll summon 3, which is cool, right? Especially, like I said, you spent the prestige food to get him to level 10, and you're going to get more use out of him now. Now, let's check out the featured relics for this guy specifically. We've got Chains of Tartarus, 50% Titan and Troop fire damage, 60% Titan and Grenadier base health, and 80% Grenadier armor and armor piercing. Not a horrible relic, especially trying to keep your Grenadiers alive, especially the infernal ones, right? Now, Helios' Blessing. I like this one. This one's pretty cool. 50% Titan fire damage, 30% Grenadier base damage, 40% Titan and Troop armor piercing, and for any Fire Titan, at the start of battle, you'll call 4 random specialized fire troops. That can be a mixture of corrupted Grenadiers, Spartan units, awesome, Fire Guardian Elementals like what Nephilinus tosses out, or Infernal Grenadiers. So you're going to get 4 random units. Now, it might be a hodgepodge mix of them. It could be all 4 of one kind. And that's for any of your Fire Titans. So that's pretty awesome. I would probably use this on my Nephilinus because she definitely needs more meat shields to protect her Grenadiers. This dude here, same thing. You need to protect your firing units, right? Your range units. But if you're using them on defense, it's kind of a moot point because the attacker can drop their units on top of your range units anyways. So it doesn't really help out that much, I guess. Now, the last thing here is that little plant, the Capsicum Ignium, right? It's going to be 50% Titan fire damage, 40% Titan and Troop armor piercing, and on allied death, you got a 50% chance to call a Grenadier reinforcement, a max of 4 of those. It's our typical little plant that we have in this meta right now where you're able to get more units when things die. This whole meta is about just bringing in more and more units on the map to keep things going, right? Just to muddy up the waters. And those are the featured relics, man. Like I said, that Helios' Blessing, I like. That one's pretty freaking cool. That one will definitely be getting a lot of use for me on my Nephilinus, for sure. Alright, now it's time to talk about some actual numbers. This is for the grinders and people that are going to be investing in this event. As always, I always like to start with the in-event rewards and kind of show what this event really costs us. With the gems and portal stones that are included in this event, this is only really costing us about 60% of the cost of the event. So it's not the full 26,000. In fact, it's only 15,000 souls. Well, close to 16, but really not that bad. So, I mean, you get quite a bit from the in-game rewards. So always keep that in mind, guys. All right. Now, let's move into the actual grinding numbers for finishing this event. We're going to start off with the finish at 26,000 souls. The first line here shows a pure grind with no relics whatsoever, just using the in-game rewards. It's going to take you about 1858 battles, right? 1,858 battles, about 31 hours of grinding, 4,600 portal stones, 24,000 gems if you need to buy your stones. So, I mean, if you're going to invest money, it'd cost you about $50. Now, that's better than the $120 it would take in boost packs to finish the event. However, time is money for some people. Now, if you are going to use the in-game relics, the ones that come with it, there's 6 of them. Worst case scenario, if you get nothing but 1-star rolls, it will reduce your grind to only 1,358 battles. So it shaves off about 500 battles. Not too bad. It's going to shave off about 3 hours, right? So 28.5 hours to finish it. It's going to take about 4,200 portal stones. If you don't have those portal stones, 21,000 gems will get them for you. I still recommend using the $49.99 pack, the 27,000 gems. It's the best deal you can get for that many gems, and you'll have a ton of gems left over for future events and grinding. I want to say it's going to be Conquest coming up pretty soon here, so you want to save up for that. That's for sure. Now, if you're just going to collect Hyperion, then 22,000 souls is your goal. That's going to be about 1,500 battles if you do a pure grind. 26 hours, right? 3,800 portal stones, a little over 18,000 gems. You're going to want to spend about $40 if you're going to buy those gems, right? Now, if you have the gems saved up, great. If the stones saved up, even better. But that's the numbers for that one. Now, if you're going to use the relics, there's 6 boost relics. Like I said, worst case scenario, all 1-star rolls. It will reduce your grind 1,428 battles. That'll bring your grind down by a couple hours. Your portal stones will drop, your gems will drop. However, it'll still cost about $40 if you need to buy those gems. It's the best deal you're going to get, and you'll have plenty of gems left over for a future event. Now we're going to finish up, of course, with our free-to-play goal. This is the bare minimum for all players. Every single player in the game, no matter what, you got to get at least 2,000 souls. That will get you 3 boost tokens for a future event. So if you're just not feeling Hyperion, or your team has a really low minimum, go for at least 2,000 to get this. It's going to take 143 battles, 2.5 hours of grinding over the course of the weekend, 379 portal stones. You can get that from your dailies, guys, making this completely free. However, if you want to speed your way through it, you're looking at about 2,000 gems to get it. That's $5 if you want to put a minimal investment in the game and be done. So finish this Thursday, get your relics, call it a weekend, and enjoy yourself, and wait until next time something else comes up that you feel will be a much better Titan for yourself than Hyperion. Right, guys? So, hey, you can't beat it. It's literally free gaming, dudes. It doesn't cost you a penny to get your 3 relics. Save those up for a future event. All right, and that is the math for this event. That leads us into our final thoughts here, and is the grind worth it? Well, if you watch the video today, and if they left Hyperion the exact same way it is right now, I'm not too sure if the grind is worth it unless you're going for that Pantheon relic. The Titan himself doesn't seem to be all that. However, I guess it kind of depends how you look at it, right? He could be having a weak spot for Lycaon and Lycaon only. Maybe no one else could beat him. It's just Lycaons. So that kind of lends itself into the gameplay that I'm kind of liking, where it's forcing us to have to use a deeper roster of Titans. Whether you need multiple attackers, you got your Hell, you have Evidor, you've got your Lycaon now. You got different Titans to attack different things. Like in order to hit an Oceanus, Crystallis works really, really well. If you're going to be going after Kronos, well, you're going to pop out your Hell. If you're going after Minerva and all that stuff, you're using your Lycaon. Or if you're going after Hyperion, you're using your Lycaon. So it forces you to use more attackers. Conversely, also having more defenders helps as well, because let's say someone keeps spanking your castle with their Hell, right? Your Kronos isn't holding up. Well, put this dude up. I don't think Hell's going to do it on this dude, right? So, I mean, you have options, and it helps to have a deeper roster, so that's great. Now, for some players, if you're just going for those Pantheon relics and you can really care less about defense, well, hey, you're probably not going to care much about this guy anyways. So if you're going to get him being a top 100 team, grab him as an aside and go from there. All right, guys, those are my final thoughts on this Titan. I want to thank you guys for chiming in. This video, I was trying to keep pretty quick, but as always, they seem to go over a lot longer than I want them to. But hey, I guess I just got a lot to say. So if you stuck around this long, I truly appreciate it. Hit that like button. Hey, hit the thumbs down button if you didn't like the video. Either way, it helps out with the algorithm because I'm getting some action on there. If you take the time to comment below, I promise I will take the time to comment back, and we can have ourselves a little conversation in the comment section. I always like that. I like when you guys give me some feedback. All right, well, this is Darshigong, and as always, I hope to catch you gaming on the dark side.